Hello and welcome to Dickinson's Real Deal. On this show, I help members of the public get the best price for their antiques and valuables. They get a choice. Sit down with one of our regular dealers. They're going to try and tempt you with a cash offer on the table today.
I'll dig deep,
Right.
pull my money out.
If I don't think that's enough money, I'm going to say to you, reject it. Gamble and place the same goods into an auction in the hope that you will get a little bit more money there.
75, 80.
Today the show comes to you from Walsall in the Midlands. There's a great crowd of people here. They've been here since early this morning. Well, you know why they're here. They want to walk away with the real deal.
It's a packed day in Walsall, plenty of early birds and plenty of goods for our dealers to get stuck into. With no messing about, we head straight over to the lovely Karen, where Sue is hoping she'll be served up a tasty figure for her enamel spoons.
These are really pretty, aren't they?
They're nice,
You're a
aren't they?
horticulturalist. Do you know anything about them?
I don't. They're my mum's, and she was given them quite a while ago.
Okay.
But she loves them, but she just never uses them, obviously. But
Yeah.
it just seems a shame to have them in the cupboard when she could use the money, really.
Let's have a look. Okay. Well, good news is they are silver.
They are wonderful.
We got the anchor and the line percent and the B, which would indicate somewhere about 70-something. Birmingham silver, which is, as we're in
Good,
Walsall,
yes, that's quite
sort
good,
of
isn't it?
ties in,
Yeah.
doesn't it? So little silver teaspoons, but with the loveliest enamelling in. These are done in the sort of style of Victorian spoons. They're really pretty, and they follow on with this almost lemon enamelling
Yeah,
going
I
down
wondered
there.
if that was enamelling down there. 'Cause
Yeah.
It's so pretty.
Each one is individual, isn't it? What,
Yeah.
these little forget-me-nots, are they?
Yeah, and they're all
That's
different.
That's about the extent of my knowledge.
Yeah,
of
I
plants.
don't know much, I'm afraid.
Oh,
My mum would have
you're
been
like
better
me.
here, yeah.
Should have dragged her along, shouldn't we? Normally they're damaged, but because they're only sort of relatively modern in that they're only about 30 years old, plus the fact that they've been boxed and not
Yeah,
used,
yeah.
they're actually in as new condition, aren't
Yeah,
they?
they put those new.
Fantastic.
They've been in a cupboard all the time. She just gets them out sometimes to look at them, and it just seems such a shame.
Yeah, so she just threw them at you and said,
Yeah.
go and
Yeah.
take
Oh,
these.
here they're in town. Run.
Yeah. All right, I'll do my best because they're a nice set. So, right, I'm going to put some money down. There's £60 there, Sue.
Okay, but I know you'd like to give me more than that, really.
Oh,
You would.
handbags at dawn, eh? Yeah. And I thought you were going to be nice and easy. You aren't
Yeah, but
at
I'm doing
all.
this for my mum, you see. She needs some jobs doing around the
Does
house.
she?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it'd be nice if she could spoil herself a little as well. And
Seven-
they're so pretty as well.
They are pretty, I'll give you that. £70, Sue.
Another 10.
I don't see them over 100, and I'm almost running out of profit, basically.
Oh, yeah. So another 10 would just be pushing it too
No,
much.
I will try, because as far as I'm concerned, they're dead cert commercially.
Yeah.
I will sell them, there's
Yeah.
no problem with that. It's just a question of whether I'll make a profit. And at 75, I know there's sort of 20 quid left.
Okay.
So we've got a deal then, 75?
We've got a deal.
Great, thanks very much.
Thank
Sue.
you
Mum
very much.
happy, do you reckon?
She'll be very happy.
And what did
will.
she say as she went out the door?
She said try and get as much as you can.
And what was?
Which was about 80, she thought.
Okay,
so she'd be happy
she didn't
with
say
that.
30 and I feel better.
Yeah, she'll be happy with that.
So Karen's happy, Sue's happy, and it looks as though Mum will be happy too. A great deal all round. And so now it's time to head over to the silver-tongued David Ford.
Hi Marie, I'm
Hello,
David.
David.
Lovely to meet you. And you brought in the family silver.
Well, no, it was a present actually.
present?
Somebody left it to me in their will.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, it's always
It was
nice
a
to get.
very, very old gentleman I used to visit.
Oh, that's nice to get nice things given
Yeah.
to you, isn't
so I
it?
used to clean his still before he, after we'd had our tea and whatever.
Yes.
So he left it to me. I couldn't believe it.
Oh, how lovely. And you've decided to sell it, not something you want to use and
Well, no, it's not my
enjoy?
sort of thing, is it?
Because it's really a lovely cake basket, isn't it?
Yes.
What do you know about it, Marie?
I don't know anything at all about it.
Except you inherited it this recently.
Well, 3 years ago.
Well, it's a cake basket. It's very nice quality. It's got this very attractive bead edge running around here, and it's on what's called a stepped foot, which is attractive. Underneath here, there are some nice hallmarks. That little crown there is the Assay Office Sheffield, and then it has a date letter here, D, which is 1921.
Right.
So there it is. There's not really a lot more to say about it, is there? As we all know, you know, bullion prices, silver and gold has all gone up in recent months. And so the prices for this sort of thing almost have become higher to scrap it than for the article. So you decided to sell it?
Well, yes, because it would be put away, wouldn't it?
Yes, because you don't want to do it. You don't
And
want to clean
a
it.
lady that was one of his very good friends said he'd rather you have the money to do
Yes.
something you wanted with. Well, I've just bought a new carpet for a large lounge.
Have you?
That would come in handy.
Okay. Well, let's help towards the carpet, shall we? I'll get some money out and see whether I can tempt you to sell it to me, shall I? All right, Marie. 100. 150. There's 200 pounds. 250 pounds. 300 pounds. 350 pounds.
Can we go any higher?
360 pounds.
I'm absolutely delighted.
You're delighted. Well, wait, before you make a decision, here's David.
I heard that you were about to make a decision. I can tell you that is within the estimation. The independents and the auctioneer were all about 340, 360. Nice buy for our dealer. You're taking home £360. Dealer's happy, seller's happy, I'm happy. That's what the show is about, we're all happy.
Marie, you are absolutely lovely and a lot of fun, and I've loved meeting you, and you've got a lovely laugh.
Oh, thank
and
you
it's
very
so nice.
much.
Thank you.
Oh, my goodness.
Well done, you weave some magic there, Marie. A nice pile of notes to put towards your new carpet. It's time to fly over to our next dealer, where Tony has a pair of interesting portraits.
Oh, hello, Tony. I'm Alison.
Lovely to meet you, Alison. I see you've got a couple of wall paintings here. Can you tell me a little bit about them, please?
They belong to my dad.
Right.
So they've been in the family a few years. I think they may have been given to him when he was married the first time, which was just after the First World War.
Right.
Because on the reverse, the framers' details are from cows in the Isle of Wight,
Okay.
and that's where his first wife
That's where
came
he was.
from.
Oh, she came from.
That's where she came from, yes.
Right. They're clearly Spanish
Right.
portraits.
Right.
Or gypsy, maybe. Let's have a look at the bottom of this, back of this one, if I may. See if I can. There's no signature on them, I noticed.
No, I've not noticed one. So the only information seems to be the framers' details on the back of the frame.
They're actually quite well painted. Nice gilt frames. I'd say they're turn of the century, maybe a little bit later. Very good condition, quite clean. It's not really something that I would understand without a signature. I can see they're painted well. I mean, he's got a nice smile, hasn't he? Well, really, it's a bit unknown where we could go value-wise, so... But I think I'd like to have a go at them.
Right, okay.
Let's see what I can pull out the bag here. $20, $40. There's no clues there then. $80.
Well, I'll probably be looking for a bit more. I think there are two of them and they're quite nice
There
paintings.
are two. I guess, you know, the frames are worth a fair bit on their own. So I'm going to put one more down and round it up to 100. And I think we're about on the button with those, to be honest. There's no signature. It's probably a family thing, a good painter within a family, not necessarily certainly not any distinguished or big names here. And so they're going to be sold on what they look like.
Just wondered if there might be a little bit more.
A little bit more. Do you know, I think I've got a little bit more
Have
here.
you?
110. How's that?
Yes, I think that's very fair, Tony.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Wonderful lot.
Thank you.
Coming up, David steps in with some tough words for Ian.
You know you like it. You know this is a very nice lady, and we look after senior citizens on this programme. You will never live it down unless you do better.
Will our king of bling pay out on the ring? Welcome back to Dickinson's Real Deal. There's no stopping our dealers today here in the Midlands because there seems to be no end to the attractive pieces that are coming through the door. Over now to the sparkling Ian Towning.
Tell us about the sapphire and diamond thing that you brought here today.
Well, I've had it around 30 years. I had a colleague at work who wanted some easy money. My husband said, if you want it, I'll buy it you.
And have you won it a lot?
No, because it's too big. I've found it twice in my handbag. I thought I'd lost it. So I think it's time to get rid of it.
You can have it made smaller.
No, I want to sell it.
You want to sell it?
If the price is right.
Well, let's have a look. As I said, you know, it's a ring from the late 70s.
Yeah.
It's a carved half hoop, by which I mean the design in this ring is carved and pierced and open. The sapphires are Indian. That's why they're that deep, dark blue with little diamonds in between. Quite saleable ring, very easy to wear. It's in pretty good condition. Some of the claws are just missing, which is not a big problem.
No.
That invariably happens to rings that have been worn and worn and worn. Even though you haven't worn it a lot.
No.
And found it in the bottom of your handbag. So what would you do with the money? Should I buy it? Or should you sell it?
We're going on holiday, and it will do for spending money.
So price-wise, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110. To me, that's what it's worth, because it's a second-hand ring, not an antique ring. I don't know what you're looking for.
More anyway.
You want much more than that? I go to 115 pounds. I know it doesn't sound a lot, but it's a second-hand ring as far as I'm concerned. And here comes, wow.
Now, I can tell you that Ian is a gentleman. Those dark sapphires are from India. He loves them. I'm going to say, Ian, you really should put some more money down. You know you like it. You know this is a very nice lady, and we look after senior citizens on this programme. You will never live it down unless you do better. So I'm going to say, stick out for 150, doll.
Thank you.
So we have 115 on the table. I'll take away the 15, and I'll put another 50 there. I was going to offer you 100, but after what David's come in and said, I have gone up to 150. So will you accept the offer of 150?
I will.
You will?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Shall we shake hands? Right.
Oh, Ian, you old softy. I'm sure Hilda's ring will take pride of place in your shop.
David, I'm David.
Across the dealer's den, our next seller is hoping that David Ford will shell out some cold hard cash for his interesting lit area.
Yeah. I think the broad name for this is trench art. I think so.
Yes.
I think that's what they call it.
Yes.
So tell me, David, these shell cases that have been worked on, how did you get to own them?
Well, they are my mum's, and she was passed on to her from a neighbour. Then, obviously, he somehow made them into a vase.
Oh, he did the work?
I believe so, yes.
But I'm always astonished at the various things that have been made out of shell cases. But these have been quite cleverly worked on, haven't they? I mean,
yes.
that's some quite clever engineer.
Yeah.
And at the bottom of this one, I see it says Eep.
Yes.
And at the bottom of this one, Kemmel. Kemmel's also got a helmet there, a German helmet.
There is a stamp with 1919 on the top.
So the suggestion is they were made just after the war then?
All I know is it's World War One.
I think these are quite clever, actually. So why have you decided to part with them now?
Well, my mum's had them for years, and she just kept them in the cupboard, and she just wanted a valuation. And
They probably don't work very well as a vase because they're
No,
wasted like that.
That's right.
You
yeah.
can't really put flowers in them because
No.
they're decorative.
No.
But they don't work very well for their function, do they?
No.
What are they worth? I don't think they're worth a lot, but I'll dig deep,
Right.
pull my money out. I mean, there's 20, 30, £30. £35. I think that's my bid.
I do want a lot more than that.
You do?
Yes, I do.
I don't think I want to pay a lot more for them, actually. I mean, these things do turn up quite a lot. There are a lot of them around, you know, because a lot of them were fired.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I'll take those 2 away and put down another 20, so it makes it £40. And David, that's my bid.
No.
So what are you going to do? Go to auction?
I'm going to go to auction if that's your final bid. But
It is. I think I don't want to pay any more than that for them. So have a bit of fun at auction.
Right.
Enjoy it, and I hope you go away with a bit more money than I've offered.
I will. Thank
David,
you.
lovely meeting you.
Thank you very much.
Auction.
As the two Davids part company, we pay our first visit to the auction. Will the shells ignite the sale room, or will they bomb under the gavel of auctioneer Richard Winterton?
You turned down £40 from David Ford.
Yes.
Are they going to make any more? Well, they're coming up now. You have expectations. The reserve is 40 quid. I know he thinks they're going to bring more. Let's find out.
£10 I'm bid, £15. 15, £20, 25, £30, 35, £40 in the room.
That's the same as David Ford offered.
Yes.
At £40 I'm bid, £40, £40, sold at 40.
£40 under the gavel. Good news and bad news. They've sold, but there is commission to be taken off. I now make that £34.
Yeah.
Are you disappointed?
Well, that's the gamble, David.
It is the gamble, and I have to tell you, these aren't the most commercial things at the moment. But nevertheless, you've had a bit of fun.
Yes.
They've sold on the day. The real deal, David, was with you, sir, at 40 quid.
Bit of a disappointment for David as the shells just missed their target. So it's back to the dealer's den and we pop across to Karen, where a cheeky little chappie has arrived on her table.
So have you had him long? Is he a family bit?
Now about 8-9 months. An old lady gave it to my husband and my son.
Okay, and how long has she had it?
I don't know.
The reason I'm asking is because I'm sure you're familiar that this, and it is a money box, a cast iron money box, is an item that was greatly copied about 20 or 30 years ago. I mean, ordinarily I'll say, oh look, it's all rusty and bished and bashed and try and knock the price down over it. But in something like this, that's what we look for.
Okay.
So it's an indication to us that it's been around quite a few years and perhaps isn't one of the copies. He's got a big recess in the top of his head. You put your old pennies in the top there, wouldn't you? And then when you wanted to do a little demo, you take your pennies out and get hours of pleasure and enjoyment from playing with the children. Should we have a little demo? I'll let you show me how it will work.
Okay, put the 2p in the hand there.
Yeah, pull the lever. Oh look, his eyes roll back into his head. Pure enjoyment, I think, don't you?
Yes.
So, let's tip him over. Now the thing we look for are the screws, and we like to see that they aren't modern screws. This is all cast iron and we can see that from the base. It's screwed at the back there, and in fact once the money's in, you'd release the money through this method, through that perforated base. I have to say, for my own instinct, I'm a little bit worried about the screw.
Okay.
I could be completely wrong, Mandy. I could be completely wrong. I mean, he's great. He's a lovely thing. He's better than the ones I have seen that I know aren't copied.
My husband did say the old lady said it was her grandparents. So
see, that's good. That's good news.
Yeah.
So if that's genuine, then that means this is a right one.
Okay.
And really should be worth a couple of £100 if he's right.
Okay.
I'm going to put some safety money down.
Okay.
20, £40. That reflects the confidence I have in my own judgment of it. I'm worried about that screw. My advice to you is not to take it. Go to auction, catch a few people a bit more knowledgeable than me on cast iron money boxes, hopefully, and get 2 people after it, and hopefully it'll make what it's worth and the right value.
Just before you say what you're going to do, Mandy, let me tell you what the independent valuers say. They're saying about 30 to 50 quid.
Okay.
You might get a little bit more at auction, but you've got to take the premium off. Considering the condition, considering the age, I'm going to say it's your call, but that's a pretty good offer.
Okay then.
I would chance it.
Okay.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, good luck, Mandy. I'm very pleased to buy it. I think you could have got a bit more at auction, but we'll never know.
A brave call there, Mandy, but as we all know, cash is king on this show. Coming up, seems like David could be out of a job.
Yeah, I've recently sold one at auction for £80.
Do you know, I don't think you need me here.
Could the Duke's title be up for grabs?
Welcome back to Dickinson's Real Deal.
We've seen all manner of items coming through the doors, and there's still plenty for our dealers to try and stake a claim to. It's back to business, and next up is a trio of jewellery that's arrived for Ian.
Hi, I'm Ian.
Hello, I'm Faye.
Faye?
Yes.
Tell me something about it.
I know it's Trifoli. Tifari, sorry.
Yeah.
And I was left it in with some of the costume jewellery from my grandmother. That's it, really. That's all I know, really.
Do you know where she acquired it from?
No, I don't.
I have no idea at all. I just look at the bracelet, just look at the signature. Okay. Clearly marked, very nicely marked, Tifari. Yeah. So it's not a problem. It's a very interesting factory, Tifari. Started in the 20s. This, of course, is slightly later than the 20s. And they made very high quality costume jewelry at one time.
Yeah.
And then later on, after the war, they started to mass produce the jewelry, which became very popular because people didn't have the money to spend on very expensive pieces. So they naturally went for the mass production of very good quality costume jewelry. Very interesting. But it's rather attractive, you know, pearl and gold as it's supposed to be. The gold color usually keeps very well. Tifari is one of the top designers of costume jewelry. And a lot of the movie stars would use it in big shows, theaters and things like that. It is quite collectible.
Wow.
Provided it is in very good condition, it is saleable. Looking at this, it looks fantastic. You know, it's really in nice condition. It hasn't been messed around. I'm surprised you would want to sell it.
Well, I've kept some bits that I wanted to keep, so...
And this has to go.
Yes.
It's not a lot of money. It doesn't make fortunes or anything like that. But it is easy to wear if you were going on holiday, you didn't want to take the real thing.
Yeah.
And that's when people would buy it, so that, you know, it's a fun thing. If I lose it, what the hell? So money-wise, what do we have here? You probably have a better idea than me. I'd say £70.
Right.
What were you looking for, if it's not a rude question?
Probably this perhaps about 80.
80 pounds. Yeah. I think it has to get well under 100 for me to sell, you know, because if I give you 80, that leaves me very little area to move and work margin in.
Yeah.
But at 70, it gives me somewhere to go, you know, something to play with.
Or 75, would you be willing to...
75. I'm sure £5 is not going to break the bank. You know, okay, let's say we say 75. Does that please you?
We'll have a deal, yes.
So we have a deal.
Yes,
we shake on it.
Thank you.
Okay. I'm sure I'm going to do something with it. I do hope I make a profit.
Thank you.
If not, what the hell?
I'm sure you will.
Well done, Faye. Every fiver counts in this game. We head across the den now, where an avid collector awaits our dealer. Best of British, Tony.
Hello, Brenda. Lovely to meet you. And where have you brought this from today?
Wolverhampton.
From Wolverhampton?
Yes, yeah.
And can you tell me anything about it?
Well, just that I collect, or I used to collect, Bulldog ornaments, anything to do with bulldogs.
Why?
Because I had proper bulldogs for years.
Ah, right.
And I've no longer got any, so I don't want my ornaments anymore.
Oh, you don't, why?
Because when the last bulldog died, I was so upset, I couldn't bear looking at the ornaments.
Oh.
But, I mean, that's been 2 years now, so I've got over that. But there's no point in keeping them anymore. I've got pugs now.
Pugs?
Yes.
So what, you're going to collect pug stuff?
Yes.
Oh, really?
So I've got to make room.
Have you found anything puggy?
Oh, yeah, I've got about 6.
Have you? Well, let's have a look at this little fella then, shall we? Well, it's a little bulldog Vesta, isn't it?
is.
See where you strike there, and obviously the match comes out of his mouth. It's so cute, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's
so
lovely,
sweet.
isn't it? Yeah.
I mean, originally it was silver plated.
Yeah.
And you can see somebody's been
Not
stroking
me.
him too much. You know, he's rubbed all his silver off.
Yeah.
Somebody has polished
Yes,
it.
before I
Well, I
bought
really quite like him, actually. And where did you buy him from?
It would be an antique show somewhere.
Well, I think he's really sweet, and I think, you know, somebody who's got a Bulldog is going to love him as well, isn't
Yes. And there's people collect Vesta cases as
he? Yeah,
well,
there is.
don't
There
they?
is. So
Yeah.
it's got a double whammy there,
Yeah,
really,
it
isn't it?
does,
Probably.
Yeah.
Well, let me see what I can offer for him then. Well, there's 20, Brenda.
Yes. Very good.
30.
Not much better.
Not much better.
No. No.
35.
No.
But he's not silver, is he?
No, but he's cute and he's unusual.
He is. He is. He
Of
doesn't
great
bark a lot.
No, of great interest to anybody who collects Vesta cases.
If it was silver, I'd have probably given nearer 100, 120, but it's not silver.
So half.
Well, it's the novelty side of it is
Yes.
where the value is, I think. This is my final offer, Brenda.
I was hoping for a little more than that. Oh, hello.
Just before you decide on this final offer, what's down there, Tony?
35.
35. It's only brass,
Yeah.
not silver. I think at 35 it might be a little bit on the light
Yeah.
side, but it's close.
I've recently sold one at auction for £80.
Do you know, I don't think you need me here. I think you know exactly what you're doing. And if you decide you want to go to auction, well, I'm going to say, I'll look forward to seeing you once you've disposed of Tony, and I'll see you at the auction.
Maybe you probably will be better taking it to auction,
Yeah,
Brenda, you know?
yes, yeah. I mean, how about 45? No, I'll take it to auction then.
Well, Brenda, I wish you luck taking that to auction. I'm sure you're going to do very well.
Yes,
thank you very much.
Thank you.
So it's a firm decision from Brenda. Has the dog had its day? Let's find out as we join David at the sill.
You sat down with our dealer, Tony, at the dealer's day. Why didn't you take the £35?
Because I found I'd got two, and I sold one recently for £70.
There's a £50 reserve.
Yes.
Does Brenda know her stuff? Is it going to sell? We're about to find out.
Starting at £20. £20 I'm bid, the little Vesta at £20. 25, 35, 40, 5. 45 I'm bid, 45 at 45. At £45 I'm bid at 45. We have 50 in the room. All done? Finished? Standing here talking to myself. 45. It is unsold, David, unfortunately.
The gavel has gone down. It didn't sell. It seems the estimate was a little bit too ambitious.
Yes.
Are you unhappy?
No, not really. It's tiny. It'll go back in the cabinet with everything else.
On the day, the real deal was cash from Tony, £35. That was the real deal.
Back to the dealer's den, where this little piggy has come to market.
So, how long have you had this?
About 4 or 5 years.
Ah, what made you buy Mr. Pig?
I found him in a charity shop and I was going to buy him from my uncle because he collects pigs.
Yeah.
But when I got it home and I realised it was a Steiff.
You
He
deprived
never
your
got it.
uncle. I think that's wicked. Christine, you're wicked. So when he sees this show, he'll see the little pig that you never gave him. Okay, so what made you suddenly decide to keep him then?
Because I do know a little bit about Steiff. I don't know a lot, but I thought it might be worth more than what I paid
you've heard
for
the
it.
name before then.
Yeah.
Well, it's Marguerite Steiff, and the Steiff factory are probably the best known maker of these sort of toys, German factory. I have to say, I have had a lot of Steiffs, particularly teddies. I have to say, I haven't had a little pig. So have you come across them? Have you done any research or anything?
I did have it valued about 2 years ago and they said about £50.
So would it have been part of a group, or was it just one little piggy on its own?
No, it was just on its own. I mean, whether it came with others before that, I don't really know.
Yeah.
No.
We haven't really discussed the age of it. I suppose we ought to do that first. Did they give you some idea? Do they think it's about a 40s, 50s one?
I don't know about the age.
Because usually with Steiff, depending on the material of the button in the ear and the style of the labelling, that is what determines the age of it. I'm guessing about sort of a 50, so that's just my educated guess. I think it's great. I love it. Do you love it?
I do.
So you're going to sell it to me now, are you?
It all depends.
It depends on the price. All right. Wow. 20, 40, 50 pounds.
Yes, it looks tempting.
Tempting?
But I think maybe a little bit more.
Why a little bit more?
Because I think you really want him.
I know, but I also want a profit out of him as well. How about if I stick another £5 on the pot? So up to £55. 55.
Maybe another £5.
You are such hard work. Right, have we got a deal now? £60?
Yes.
Great.
Thank you very much.
Come on, Mr. Pig, you're coming home with me now.
Mr. Pig's off home with Karen and Christine brings home the bacon. Coming up, there's a name to conjure within the dealer's den.
I have to say, Rich, when I first saw this, and I saw the name Sydney Cooper, I thought, bingo!
The money's piling up.
That leaves me a little bit to have a pint later.
But has Tony got his priorities straight? Welcome back to Dickinson's Real Deal. It's coming to the end of a busy day here in Walsall, but just before our dealers turn in for the evening, a fantastic painting from a well-known family name has just arrived over with Tony. David and auctioneer Richard sensed some big money could be on the table.
So what have you brought us today then?
I've brought a painting which was given to me by my great auntie.
Okay.
She had it in a spare room.
Spare room, so she didn't like it much then?
I don't think so. It was just kind of pushed out of the way a little bit, I think. I think it was handed down to her from her family. She passed away, unfortunately, about 12 months ago, and gave the paint. I got the painting, and I've just had it in a spare room ever since because I didn't particularly like it either. So it was just pushed.
It's following the same footsteps.
It was, yes.
It's such a shame because actually it's a very good painting. So are you related in any way to the Coopers?
No, unfortunately I'm not. No, it's just not quite sure how it got in the family. But.
William Sidney Cooper is not as desirable as his great uncle Tom, whose paintings are very, very valuable. But I mean, this is still a great oil painting.
Now, Thomas Sidney Cooper, as you know, very prolific, a tremendous amount of work he churned out. What about William?
To me personally, I prefer William to Thomas. I think Thomas is, is right in your face. They're huge pictures, beautifully done. But this is more set back, looking at the fields, the cattle and the sheep. So,
well, I mean, it's a good pastoral scene. You know, there's a lot of detail here in the beginning. And of course, this is typical of his work. He did a lot of sort of countryside, a lot of stuff with cattle in as well. It needs a really good clean. That's going to absolutely come back to life. You might like it if you get it cleaned because it's a bit dull, but that'll come. The vibrance and the colour is all there, but it's hidden by this sort of tobacco-stained edge.
What kind of estimations have you seen in your investigation?
I like this picture, to be perfectly honest. I think this is my sort of thing, and I think we should certainly be 12 to 15.
The independent valuers are saying 8 to 12. They're a bit more modest. I think you're right. Looking at the prices this man brings, I think that would be a very good potential at that price. And once cleaned, it really would be a great picture. Let's see what Tony, our dealer, puts down.
I'd like to have a go at this.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7's quite a lucky number, don't you think?
It's closer than it started, obviously, but no, I'd like more.
Well, I'm getting close to around the garden gate, so that's 8.
£800, Richard.
Okay, well, it's a good bid, isn't it, David? I think, and I think you've already explained it, you're saying about the condition, but that, to me, that helps it. And to me, that's why I think it'll be 1,000 easily.
You've heard what Richard says. He says, in this condition, it may look a bit grotty, but that's the way people want to buy. They want to have them restored under their instructions. I need to get in there and tell our seller, £800, not a bad offer, but it's not good enough.
Where are we with that?
Well, I've come in here at this stage just to give you some indication. The estimation from our independents is 8 to 12, 1,000 to 1,500 from the auctioneer. I'm going to say, to be sure to maximise your chances of the best price, go to auction, and I think at the end of the day, all being well, you should do better than the £800, but it's all a gamble, and it's your decision.
We've heard what David thinks, and I'm going to go just above the low estimate of 8 to 12 and pop in 9. That leaves me a little bit to have a pint later.
I think I'd like to take a chance at auction. But
Well,
thank you anyway.
No, thank you very much.
I think it's a good picture too. Is it going to sell in the auction? Well, we hope so.
£12 I bid, now more. £12 I bid, 15 at the 12, sold then at 12, 15.
The estimation is £1,000 to £1,500. The reserve is £1,000. Now, it's worth that. The old story is the buyer here in the sale room? We're about to find out. It's coming up now.
We're in at 750. 750, 800, 850.
900, 950.
At 950 bid then at 950, 950, at 950, 950, 1,000, 1,000 bid now.
At the reserve, at 1,000.
1,000, all done. We are selling then at 1,000. Goes.
The gavel has gone down at £1,000. When you take away the 15% commission, you are left with £850. What's your reaction to that?
I think it's worth it. It's been fun, and that's what it's about. So
that's what the gamble's about. I'm going to award the real deal to our dealer, Tony. Tony, you were right on the money, mate, and that was at £900.
Tony was spot on with his offer. I hope you're not too disappointed, Rachel. Let's see if any of our dealers were disappointed with any of their buys today. Unusually, Karen's profit margin was slightly underwhelming.
I don't see him over 100, and I'm almost running out of profit, basically.
Although she's managed to sell the spoons, the money and the pig, she wasn't able to make more than a £5 profit on any of them. Oh, well, Karen, never mind. Let's give it another whirl next time. There must have been something in the air today, as neither Ian or Tony have managed to sell any of their items. Oh dear, boys, time to pull your fingers out. Finally, we come to David Ford. He's done a bit better today.
Another tenner, 360. You're going to shake my hand?
He managed to sell the silver basket for a reasonable £420. With this modest £60 profit, this makes David our dealer of the day. Well done.
Lovely.
We've had a great day here in Walsall Town Hall. There's been loads of action, lots of buying and lots of selling, just the way we like it. Don't forget to join me, David Dickinson, next time for Dickinson's Real Deal. Bye for now.